What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the Bianconeri zone, and welcome back to a massive breaking news show, in my opinion. We play Real Madrid today, but that's what it is. That we'll talk about later tonight. But Osimhen, we are back in for Osimhen, according to Di Marzio, and it's actually serious. The club really wants to try to get a deal done. Not saying it's a done deal, not saying it's an easy deal to be done and already, but we all thought it was really done and dusted. But it's all far away from done and dusted because the club had contacts with Osimhen in the weekend, and there are some updates. Before we get into it, smash the like button as always. Let's get to at least over the 100 likes. Should be easy. Subscribe to the channel, and let's dive straight into a big update. Okay, so Osimhen, a player, if you watch the channel, a player I love. Out of all the names out there, top strikers, like like Gyökeres and Osimhen and Sesko and probably and Darwin Nunes, those are the names out there, Out of all those names, for me personally, Osimhen is the clear one, the player I'm like, that's a top player that will guarantee goals. And if it goes sideways, it's not because of him, it's because we are a shit show. Because whatever he played, he delivered goals. Period. Belgian league, French league, Italian league, Turkish league, he just scores goals. It's as simple as that. So if it doesn't succeed with us, we really have an issue within this club basically. And you're like, okay, the problems are much bigger than we all could have imagined, in my opinion. That being said, according to Di Marzio, we held talks with Osimhen's agents over the weekend to see if Osimhen, do you want to join us? And I don't think that's an issue because it has been reported a long time ago. Yes, it was with Giuntoli, and he knew Giuntoli that he wanted to join us. The second step is, okay, what are your wage demands? And this is what we can offer you. Can we work towards something? If that is okay, then it's going to Napoli and say there's a release clause. How much do you want? He has 1 year left. Yeah, you can extend him for a season, but you're not going to do that because then you're going to need to pay him ridiculous wages. And if he's not going to the Saudi league or accepting any move, you're going to need to pay those wages basically. So those are the steps. So like I said, far from a done deal, but it's a massive update because the last couple of days, all we were hearing was it's Jonathan David. Maybe we need to move on with Vlahovic. Otherwise, and I've said it, the reporting is strange. I recorded a podcast with Julian, by the way, that will drop tomorrow or Thursday. And while we were recording the podcast, this news broke. So it was perfectly set up because we were talking about strikers and top players and starting 11s, and then the news broke. So definitely listen to the podcast because I thought that was interesting. But all the talk was, man, Jonathan David, we need to sell Vlahovic, otherwise we cannot sign Jonathan David, and Vlahovic is blocking everything, and we don't have money, this and that, and 50 million euros agent fee is too much. I've always said the agent fee story is weird because 50 million euros to person X or 50 million euros to Lille, is that too much money? I don't think so. I always thought the club is not 100% convinced they want to sign Jonathan David because they're hopeful, maybe, and hoping, that they could potentially sign a different player, being Osimhen. Now, you can flip it and say, if you sign Osimhen or try to sign Osimhen, that means Colomani is gone. Maybe. Or it can means, Comoli knows, I can get a very reasonable deal with PSG to keep Colomani for one more season. I get Osimhen, and then the following season, we will see what's going to happen. It can go, like if you sign Osimhen, the scenarios are wide open. It could be Jonathan David. It could be Colomani. It won't be both. That's for sure. So one decision will be made. Keeping in mind, you're still looking at Conceicao, Jadon Sancho, and whatever, So the Osimhen thing is interesting and also something that needs to be clear very, very soon. That's not a transfer you can drag on for ages. One, because he's a main guy, you need to bring him in ASAP. And two, too many other deals depend on him. Are you going to keep Osimhen or are you going to sign Jonathan David? Because he's a free agent. He's not going to wait forever. And if you sign Osimhen, How are you going to fix the other positions? Yildiz, because like I talked about it, the way they play and the way they Osimhen wants to play, it can open things up for Yildiz. It can hamper Yildiz. What about Nico Gonzalez and coal miners? It all I think it's a domino effect. But I don't need a 30 Serie A goal striker. If he gets me 20, I'm happy. And we're nowhere near close to having 20 goals out of one player in Serie A. Osimhen can guarantee that. If he doesn't get 20 and you sign him, then we have a real problem at this club. If you do not manage to give Osimhen 20 goals in Serie A, we have a massive problem at this club, you know. And yes, maybe service is an issue, but that's something you probably want to fix as well, you know. The backline is a priority. I've always said it at my first bit of news, I should be a backline. But if I made my peace with the links I've seen that we're in for players that are not really high profile. So if we are a bit later for a center back, you know, let's say 2-3 weeks before we kick off the season in preseason, it's not really an issue because the links we have are not high profile players. Like I said, they're players that you should be able to get even a week before preseason kicks off, you know, and you just get the deal over and done with, you know. Those are the profiles we've linked. If we were linked with high profile center backs, I'm like, focus on that rather than Osimhen. Please fix that position. But we've not been linked with high profile center backs in this moment in time. So that's why I'm a little bit more quote unquote calm, because the links we have at the back, I'm like, yeah, if somebody else signs you and we didn't get you, I'm not really gonna cry about it, you know. But when it comes to Osimhen, that's the deal. If you want to do Osimhen, you need to push for it and you need to be very certain, very early, if that's possible, yes or no. It cannot drag on in terms of it's going to happen, it's not going to happen. It's too much money, it's not too much money. It's a possibility, it's open, it says discussion. No. It needs to be very clear if it's feasible, yes or no. Otherwise, we're going to end up in a coal mine situation, Nico Gonzalez situation, where we're going to be in talks with these players for weeks and weeks and weeks, and then they finally end up signing, but season kicked off, or worst case scenario, you don't even sign them and you're left behind with nothing because, well, Jonathan David is gone right now as well. And what are you going to do right now? Because that's the scary part. That's the dangerous part. If you wait for Osimhen, David is gone, and you don't sign Osimhen, then what? Then what are you going to do? Because clearly you cannot go back to Vlahovic. So it's a tricky situation. It's a massive update, but it needs to be developed very, very soon in yes or no. Anyways, like I said, let me know in the comments what you think about the news update. Do you want Osimhen? Do you think it's not, you know, smart enough? You let me know. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will speak to you guys later tonight post Real Madrid, hopefully with a miracle. Ciao.